What is going on, guys? My name is Mehul and welcome to your 15th Angular 2 tutorial in which we'll be just adding some sort of styles to our application so that it looks a bit nice on the browsers. So far if you take a look, it kind of looks crappy and it just looks like a bunch of H1 and P tags and UL tags, which just every new learner do with HTML. So obviously you don't want to take your site live with this sort of structure, although how good your coding in JavaScript may be. So let's just add some sort of CSS to it. Now, first of all, first things first, let's get rid of this template and add a template URL of app and let's just create templates folder index.html. And there's a way to actually just get rid of all of this and just write like templates.html. So if I create a folder right here which says um, templates, and I create another file which is index.html, and actually this would not work right now, and the reason is that Angular by default would look inside the root directory. If you don't, you know it will always look inside the root directory no matter how you specify the path right in the component, like in the template URL or in the style URL. So if you take a look in the browser, you can see that it just says that localhost templates index.html is not found. So I'm gonna leave it like app and probably the same directory templates and like that. Again, what I'm gonna do is let's just create another folder right here which just says CSS. Well, we could actually create a simple folder like assets and then put JavaScript and CSS in both of them, but anyways, let's just name it style.css, and inside here I would just write my wildcards which just apply to almost the whole page and which don't need to be edited again and again. So I'm gonna link this style inside my main index. So my main index file is index.html, and right here I'm gonna say link rel style sheet. href is app, and probably this is css style.css. Alright, and as you can see the styles are already applied, and from Google Fonts I'm gonna grab this Open Sans for the fonts and just place the link here. Now what you can do is go down to this line right here, and inside body let's just paste this, and as you can see it looks much better than before. Again, now we need styles for our component, so I'm gonna say style URL, and here would be again an absolute path instead of relative, so this would be app CSS. Let's just name this as my shop component.css, and don't need a semicolon right there. So my shop component.css, here we go. And for this what I can do is actually, alright, this is 404 not found. This is inside app, then we have CSS style, well, my shop component, my shop oh, there's a typo right there, component, right? Alright, now what we need to do is that once this style is loaded, let's just customize this application a little bit from the styles, and as you know that these styles only apply to components, so I don't need to do like h1 id and something like that, so that it doesn't look messy at all. So that's the heads up for Angular 2's component style URLs. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's just say text align center, and why not just edit this as some name to your shop. Let's just say your shop is named as um, why not Crazy Coders. So this is the name of our shop, and we are selling movies. Well, so anyways, well, that's how it looks right now, and we can just do a bit of styling from here only. So I'm just going to do a bit of styling from the browser itself, and would copy that again, 10 pixel, 20 pixel. I guess we don't need that 20 pixel. So let's just make some space for header, and the border bottom 2 pixels solid, and the background would be, I guess, not really black, but you could actually have black background. So color would be white, and text shadow is 005 pixel white. This is just sort of a layout which would I'm just coding in 5 to 10 minutes. You can go ahead and take your time to code your own layout, and pretty much like, all right, now we have this one as h1, then p, then u will. This is sort of unorganized, isn't it? So let's just organize this a little bit as well. So this would be probably where we are in the index. So we have Crazy Coders as the heading. Then we have the following movies available. All right. So let's just change this to h3 and h3. Then we have, let's just say, div id my movies list, and you would probably need to have one time or another these user IDs and classes, because you just can't rely on elements every time. So we have this movie list. Then you could probably just get rid of this UL at all, and you could just go ahead with a div of class movie item and a div here as well, and we can just get rid of this recently added movie. And again, you could just actually create another separate file for this card, but for now I'm just gonna keep it inside my index.html only. And inside this card I have this in h3, then a UL, and then div is closed. Alright, now what we can do is we can just probably just wrap this whole thing into a container, actually. Container, and a div here as well. And inside here we can say container is width 960 pixels, margin 0 auto, and this looks like that right now. So for this we can say like h3 is padding top 25, padding bottom 10, or let's just say this is margin bottom 10. Then we have border bottom 1 pixel solid, black only, let's just say And then we have a bit of color customization right there, just like that. And again, for these, the movie item, what I can do is I can just say this is width of 33%, and this would be float left. And again, we would need to clear out cursor, pointer. We would need to clear out the floats. So what I'm gonna do is create a class content display block and clear both. So this is some sort of simple CSS. I guess I don't need to dive much deep for this. And what I'm gonna do is again just place my CSS where I have to clear the floats right here. So this would be class clear. So let's just check this out if the floats are cleared. Yes, they are. So yeah. Alright, now the next thing we should probably do is that get some Batman versus Superman images, and why not just Civil War Captain America as well. So what we have, Deadpool, right? So we have Deadpool as well. So let's just open the images for this one as well. So for Batman versus Superman, we could probably go ahead with let's see, this would be okay, yeah, this one would be good. And then we have for Civil War as well, I like this one, but the dimensions are not very much useful for us. And I am on the side of Tony Stark, if you are wondering, so we could just get okay. Alright, so let's just go with this one only. So this one's for Civil War, and for Deadpool it is, let's just say this one. So this is for Batman versus Superman. I'm just gonna go ahead with the relative layout URLs only. I'm not gonna save them or anything or such like that. So what I can do is right here I can probably say that this is movie item, and then we have, or if you don't like, then you can just write data, or let's just keep it in the class itself. So we'll say movie item movie. Alright, now let's just take a look in the browser. And as you can see, we have a bit of problem because there are some sort of spaces. So I don't know it would work or not. Let's try this out. This is a simple JavaScript hack to remove spaces, and looks like it probably worked. Yeah, so it worked. So you could actually just make use of some sort of JavaScript stuff inside this expression also. So now we have the name of the movie as well concatenated with the class name. So what I can do is go ahead and inside style, no, inside not style, I can say movie item, or just simply Batman versus Superman as background. URL is this one right there, and similarly for the other three. And what is their names? Civil War and Deadpool. So for Civil War we have this one as the background, and for Deadpool we have, I guess I placed it in wrong positions. So for Civil War again we have this one as the background. Well, it looks good, but not really. So let's just extend the height of these containers a little bit. So what I'm gonna say is height is 300 pixels, and where's Deadpool? Network console. Alright, so they are you sort of using some sort of hot link protection. Never mind. So for this one, again, I would just go ahead and write background size 100%, auto 100%. Wait a minute. Background size. So this would go for all the movie items. And where's the height one? 400 pixels. And background for Civil War it is no repeat, or let's just do center. Alright, cool. Now for Deadpool images, let's go with this one. So let's just see if it allows us to use Deadpool or not. Oh, this one is good as well. So let's just go with this one because that loaded first. So this is right there, and inside our browser, if you take a look, it looks kinda cool. The next thing what you can do is you can just wrap all of this movie inside span class movie name, and span is closed right there. And then what you can do is just position it relative, and for dot movie name you can say that it is absolutely positioned, and it is bottom 0 with 100% height. Let's just leave height. Background is black, and text align is center. So let's just take a look how it looks. So alright, looks like we have some sort of problem. Okay, so this should be left 0 as well. Here we go. And for background black, I want color as white. This could be a bit transparent actually. Let's just change this to RGBA and transparency. Sweet, and padding of 10 pixel, 0 would do the job. And the last thing we need to do about this one is that so we can just reduce this to, or we can just apply a margin of 10 pixel directly and make use of in the style.css border sizing, what was that property name? I guess box, yeah, so it was box sizing border box, and doesn't look like it worked, does it? So we have still a bit of problem right there. So let's just make the margin to 2%, and that would do the job, I guess. Probably, yeah. So let's just get rid of this. We'll take a look at that later on someday. And this would be margin 2% and width of 29%. So here we are with our Deadpool page ready, or the movies page ready, and we have just made a bit of customization to our homepage, so it looks a bit nice now. You could actually do this for card as well, but I'm just gonna leave it right now with this one as only. So we'll be continuing with our web application from here only, from this point. And if you're lazy enough to not just code this yourself, then don't worry, I'll just leave a link in the description where you can find all of these files absolutely ready for you to start coding from the next tutorial onwards. So guys, that's all for this one, and if you liked it, then don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.